snacks.
What it do, snackers and snackettes? It's your boy Gage. That's the homie Sin.
Yo.
And this is Cutscenes.
It is.
And it's time to talk about some games.
It is.
Some games.
It is.
So a couple of things happened today. We got a new reveal from Ubisoft. Ghost Recon Breakpoint.
Mm-hmm.
We also had State of Play.
Yes, we did.
From PlayStation. So those two things on the docket, I'm pretty sure we can fill some time up with. But I do, before we dig into those,
right,
I want to talk a little bit about our time with Mortal Kombat.
Ah, that addicting drug called Mortal Kombat.
Well, you know.
Yeah.
Yes and no. I mean, there is something about wanting all of the stuff.
True.
Wanting all of the different variations. When you when you really dig into it and you realize that like all the characters have like 60 skins.
Yeah.
And they're not all super different. I don't necessarily care about all of them. You know what I mean? Like they really kind of could have just like
4 different outfits with different color variations.
Yeah, they could have just let us change colors on some of them.
Yeah.
I feel like that would have been really good. The gear sets, though, on the other hand, do seem to make a difference. And when you total the number of characters with the number of skins and the number of gear sets,
it is a lot of crap to unlock.
That is an understatement.
Yes.
It's a lot of crap, and it's a lot of work, because
it's almost like you just want to pick and choose with, alright, let me just mess with the people I mess with.
No, yes.
Just get their stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, because it is overwhelming.
Absolutely. And then, but when you do that, then it's also sort of disappointing when you go into the crypt and you're opening all these chests and doing all this stuff and traversing all of this distance and whatever, and like you don't get outfits for characters that you do care about.
Oh yeah, it never works that way.
You know what I mean? Like that is super annoying.
It is.
And then when you consider the total number of chests that are in the crypt, which is a lot of chests, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of chests, and that there are not enough chests, there probably actually are enough chests to give you all of the like outfit content and the gear sets, but not enough when they give you all the stupid mods for fighting. And like, you know, you open a chest and it's like 3, you know, mods for these battles or whatever that you do, where you're calling somebody in to assist you, or you're fighting against, you know what I mean? Like, if it wasn't for that stuff, if that stuff wasn't there, this might be a much cleaner execution of, you know what I mean? Like, I understand having the modifiers there for the sake of keeping the gameplay loop slightly different, you know what I mean, or whatever, but for the most part, you still basically run into the same modifications over and over again.
Yeah. Yeah, you do.
And when that's the case, it's kind of like, alright, well, it's still the same thing then. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so, playing through the game...
I wonder if they're planning to add on more modifiers in the future. Just thought about that.
I mean, I guess. I mean, look, the truth of the matter is, I'll probably grow perfectly tired of the game just in time for them to drop a new character. And with the way that things are, like if they drop a new character and that character also has the same amount of skins and or gear sets, now we're talking a whole different ballgame. And then it's a matter of whether or not that DLC character, which I have already paid for, by the way.
Oh, yes, I have.
If I care enough to want to spend the time with that character to go in and kind of do all of that stuff. And when you have that character's... Like, if you don't get everything else out of the way, then everything you open... You know what I mean? Is you're not getting things for that. Yeah, you know what I mean? It's kind of like...
It's a nice little loophole.
Yeah, and I'm not real sure about it. Like, I'm not sure if I like it or not. You know what I mean? It's weird to say that I'm having a good time or not when mostly I'm just doing AI battles. Like, there is something about the way NetherRealm allows you to set your characters. Because then on top of the gear sets, then you have the different augments that you can get for each gear set. Then you don't know what augments are going to be on there, and then you can re-roll those to try to get other ones, and you don't know what augments you've got, and then you have certain augments that are only for certain characters that you can. It's just a lot, and it's a little bit more than I feel like. I don't know if it's as well thought out as it should be, and it's also not real clear how to best.
No, it was way cleaner with Injustice 2 than it is now.
And even that was a bit more. Even that was a lot. But yes, like there's something annoying about like getting a particular gear set, whether you like that gear set or not, and being like, all right, well, I might as well just play with this gear set on, so I can at least level it up,
right?
So that then I can start putting the augments on it. But then it opens an augment, which apparently is random, and then you don't have any augments for that character to put into that piece to go on that thing. So then it's like, all right, well, do I spend 1,000 coins to re-roll it, hoping I get something in this slot that then I can open? Do I wait until I actually have a piece of gear that I actually want to use? You know what I'm saying? That I like the way it looks, because the gear doesn't do anything different. It just looks different.
And you know what I'm doing? We're talking about unlocking stuff. Those third slots are still locked for now.
Exactly. That's the other thing.
And
Each character has three gear slots. And then each piece of gear, which there are like 20 of for each slot or more, then has 3 levels that you can bump them up through experience. And currently you can only open the first 2. And the third one in each one of those is still locked. Which is also really dumb.
Yeah, I don't get that one. I don't get that the idea of thinking in that.
It's one of those things where it's kind of like, well, we have to wait to see what they do with it to see if it's actually worth it.
And then,
you know what I mean?
Because taking the time to go in all the ones you like, level them up.
Does that mean, right, does it mean that I actually have to level them up, or are you just going to open them for me? You know what I mean? Like, if they're already at level 2, you need to open them joints. If I got to go back and I got to... Right, that's disgusting. Like, don't do that.
That'll be a pain. Well, if they're keeping it the way it is, it's a pain. If that third thing is for something else they plan on adding in, some new thing or whatever, okay. I doubt that's what it's going to be. It might just be just a third slot.
I'm going to just tell you, I'm not giving them that much. I'm not giving them that much leeway. Right now, they need to unlock that thing now. That's how I feel.
I do too.
But there is something about choosing a character, choosing their moveset, or rearranging their movesets, and then adjusting the way the AI plays.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Like
I personally like
into the metagame of that.
The AI stuff, because characters I don't... Like, I want to unlock the stuff, but I don't feel like learning how to use certain characters. So, I can just throw on something on the TV, watch some anime, and just keep tapping the A button when the fight's over. Right.
Which, yes.
Hey, just because somebody comes over and they like, hey, I want to play with Shao Kahn. Hey, well, I got a bunch of stuff for you. I lock with them. Pick what you want to wear and throw your augments on. Let's fight.
Yeah, to be honest with you, if you come over and you want to play with Shao Kahn and I don't care about Shao Kahn...
You gotta put in some work, or just get.
I mean, you gotta wear what he has, like you know what I mean, like whatever. But I understand what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, I like the idea of the AI thing. I do wish that it would just play, and you didn't have to keep pushing. You didn't have to push the button.
Like you start a tower, it just goes to the end. That
would be fantastic. I mean, unless you lose.
You hit the A button again.
Sure.
That cycle.
But if I win, just let me go, man.
Because
I don't really... I do enjoy watching it sometimes, but I don't really want to watch it. I'm doing other things. I'm editing, or I'm, you know what I mean? Like, I'm updating stuff.
I've been through the towers and up this character. I know what I do at the end. Come on now.
Yeah, like, I just...
A button, please. A button, come on.
And you are really kind of doing the same things over and over again. So, it kind of pays. Like, I think there's 6 slots for each character. So that you can do variations, like 6 different variations of each character. It's at least 5. So, there is something to be said for, alright, well, I've leveled this one up to the way it is. I have some stuff on that I really like. I want to keep this build. I've opened some new gear. Let me get a new character, put a new skin on them, put some new gear on them, change their abilities, change how this one fights, and you know what I mean, make this one a zoner or make this one, you know, whatever.
Yeah, you can't really get into your super customized and bag with them until you start unlocking all that character's augments, and we talk about how hard that is.
Yeah, I mean, to a certain extent, yeah, because certain augments you get, you know, only work on certain abilities.
Yep.
So they're no good to you if you have a character that has an ability that's right. So it's like, all right, well, I got this augment, but I'm not using that ability. Now I got to do a new build so I can use this augment because right now it's the only augments I have.
I just ran into that same problem. Only augment I had when to put on was like, they got to be using that move. Okay, let me go back in and readjust. Let me reline up his behavior so I make sure that move is, you know,
utilized and worth it. Yeah. Then I noticed, like, I don't know if you have any yet, but I've picked up a couple of augments that are specifically for the AI battles. So in the AI battle simulator where you pick like 3 characters and then you pit them against other people's AI characters and you can speed through them, fast forward through them, just like you could in Injustice or whatever. I have augments that, like, I have one augment for Jax that it's like your partners do like 25% extra damage as long as you haven't lost a round yet or something like that. Like, yeah, I'll show it to you. But yeah, there's stuff like that in there too. It's a different, like, it's like a silver augment instead of being bright green or red or yellow, whatever the other ones are. Yeah. So interesting. Anyway, I'm having a good time with it. It's cool. I'm gonna keep playing. I mean, I'm gonna keep letting the AI
battles. Yeah, that's not gonna stop. That's the routine. Come home, I set up a tower. All right, I'm gonna do what I was doing.
Oh, then you be like, come on, man. Why you only give us 2 hours to finish this tower? And then you look at the tower and it's like, I don't even really want to like, this character's not that important to me that I feel like I need to go through.
But that timer took it down, like,
you be like, well, you're like, but I finished this tower. I might as well just do this tower.
Exactly.
I gotta, you know what I mean? Like, I need to, you know, and then it's like, well, do I use that character? No, I don't, you know,
I need to level up these joints with this other character. Let me just throw them in there, get them out the way so I can switch it out and go again. Yeah. But yeah.
I enjoyed every bit of the story campaign. I do still have to go back and finish the other pieces of the story campaign, like the ones that I didn't do. So I'm gonna do that today. I happened to mention that to
you ain't doing that
Coop yesterday. Yes, I am.
We're gonna be doing
something else. I happened to mention that to Coop yesterday. No, we not. And he was like, "Oh, I totally forgot about that." So he went and did it last night after we played and got punished.
Oh gosh, the computer bodied us. Took us a while. Well,
the computer was on medium, dog. Like, something's not right about.
No, that was broken. That was broken.
For sure. Like, I understand that it's on medium and fighting 3 human opponents and is using like ability, but then also I couldn't see. Like, you said you had a bar, right? You could see like your modifiers. Like, there were modifiers that were available.
Yeah, I had 3. They each had a button under them, and when I used it, it went from red to yellow, and they were like build back up.
They were on the bottom of your screen?
They were under each one of my modifiers. Like, all our joints was on the right hand side.
Oh, and, you know what?
What?
I'm gonna tell you why I couldn't see that. Because at the bottom of the screen, you were playing with the screen small. I played with the joint full screen. At the bottom of the screen on the left hand side, it had a thing that hit the start button. Hit the start button to go full screen.
I didn't know that.
So I'm like, all right, bet I go full screen, and I'm just watching the fight.
Now it makes sense.
When you're playing any other time, the modifiers show up underneath of your life bar.
Yeah.
So I'm like, where are y'all seeing this? There's no. What are y'all talking about? I don't even know what my. And then
I'm trying to throw ice. I'm trying to heal each other.
They give me a joint that had a question mark. I'm like, why you give me a question mark?
Yeah, I don't get that. Now we know why. All right, now we can try it again. You gotta keep it in the small screen.
What was the time on that? Like 60 hours? We might have some time still.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's enough about that. Here's what I want to do. I feel like we should get State of Play out of the way.
I completely agree with you, sir. I was wondering if you was going to say, let's talk State of Play. Let's talk State of Play. Sony, we just watched it.
That's true.
We did. And you know what? So unimpressed.
I was going to say, what are your thoughts?
So unimpressed. Those are my thoughts. Those are my feelings. It was a waste of time. It was a complete, utter waste of time. I mean, they showed us Final Fantasy, which we know we're not getting no time soon whatsoever. So, they showed us that. They showed us a new Predator game.
No, they didn't. They showed us not actual game footage, cutscene, that was a Predator game. They announced a Predator game. They did not show us a game. They showed us CGI footage.
Yeah, Marines walking in the jungle and you hear the noise and see the little
invisible Predator.
Yeah, that was
you see the invisible Predator.
Yeah, you do. What else did they show us? They
told us that it was an asymmetrical online, I think 5-player.
Yes.
4 people, I guess. I'm assuming 4 people are the Marines or whatever, and then 1 person ends up being the Predator, and you're supposed to try to hunt and kill.
And he's going to do that to you as well, most likely.
Who's going to do that to you?
The Predator. They're trying to hunt him, trying to hunt them. You know.
Oh, yeah. That's what I was saying. I was saying that if you're the Predator, you're trying to hunt them. But yes.
They did show us a new IP. What's it called? Like Surviving something, whatever, with the muskrat squirrel, flying squirrel.
Oh, nah. You want to know what the name of it is?
Yeah, what was the name of that?
Away. The Survival Series.
Away, the Survival Series, where you play what looks like to be a squirrel muskrat thing, and you're just in the jungle trying to survive natural disasters.
Interesting.
And make it the sanctuary. Yes, I can agree with that. They did show us a new massive expansion pack for Monster World.
Monster Hunter, yeah.
Monster Hunter, thank you. Monster Hunter called Iceborne.
Ice World.
I think it's Iceborne.
Ice Cube.
Ice Tea.
Yeah.
Ice Place, whatever. Doesn't matter.
Iceland.
We'll go with that. Iceland. Yes, whole new world you can go to. New monsters, new lands to explore, all that stuff. Looks pretty cool. But that wasn't something that was a PlayStation exclusive.
It just looks like this. I mean, honestly, it looks the same, just in snow instead of desert, which is essentially the same thing. Like, snow is desert, so
I like it.
Hey, that's cool. You like Monster Hunter?
I do.
Makes
me think I need to take some time and get back into it and reacclimate myself when it comes out. That'd be fun to get back in and get back on. I'm trying to remember, what was that little arcadey style one with
I don't remember what the name was.
Wasn't that important. It just had couch co-op. They didn't mention that not local, online co-op, so.
Cutesy looking, cube type.
Yeah.
3D, 8-bit. 3D 8-bit pixel art characters with cameos from
other games,
Guacamelee, Shovel Knight,
Bastion.
Yeah, I mean that's cute. That's so cute.
Yeah, and
shoot and swing.
Yeah,
shoot and sword.
Oh, and they also showed us Medieval.
Which you're excited about?
Nope. Nope, not excited. Like, I was like, all right, looks good, but
no, I can tell.
I would never play it unless it came to PlayStation Plus free for us, and then I would download and play it then. Other than that, okay, it's a remake of a classic game to a lot of people, so kudos to people that are looking out for it. It looks good, but so that was the entire thing of State of Play, and it was very much so lackluster.
Well, you left out one thing, sir.
What did I leave out, sir?
The limited edition PlayStation 4 from Days of Play.
You are correct. I did leave that out.
You left that out because it wasn't that big of a deal.
There we go. And we don't know what Days of Play is, but it'll be available during Days of Play in June.
Did they say in June?
They said in June.
I mean, I believe it. I just, I'm disappointed.
In that presentation or just Sony?
Well, that's a loaded question. I am specifically disappointed in I'm disappointed in State of Play right now. I think that right now the bar is set. I put it to you this way, like they opened it by saying we're gonna keep this short and sweet, which is cool. Mm-hmm. Like, give me an idea of what I'm actually looking at, or whatever. That's fine. What I feel like is missing from State of Play, like you're taking a cue from what Nintendo is doing.
Right.
But here's the problem. If you're going to copy what one of your competitors is doing because your competitor is doing something that's working and working well, I certainly can understand the fear of or not wanting to seem like you're copying. Mm-hmm. But you are. So if you are, copy it. Right? And what Nintendo does really, really well when they do their online digital presentations, which is for the most part the only way
they do
Nintendo delivers information to you anymore.
Except when you get your tree houses at E3.
Right.
But yeah, that's it.
They do a very good job of telling you exactly, like, Nintendo will do a 7-minute presentation, but they'll tell you, we're doing a 7-minute presentation on Pokemon.
They do.
You know what I mean? And you're like, oh, alright. Now they might wait till the last minute and tell you, we're doing one tomorrow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's like, but you know exactly what you're getting, and then when they do it,
they really give you some information.
They deep dive into that specific
with the focus of the State of Play.
Yeah.
That's good Lord. Whatever their direct is, like Pokemon or Smash Brothers. Correct. Yeah, they lock in on the game and break it down to you.
And even when they are delivering information on more than one thing, right? Like a lot of times they'll specify like this is a Switch Direct or this, you know what I mean? Like they really do a good job of honing in on what it is and giving you a lot of information, even if they don't give you all of the information. Even if they leave you by saying there will be more information coming, you can expect it at this point, or whatever it is.
You know what else they also do good with the directs in comparison to like State of Play? It's just the way it looks and feels. I don't know if I'm even saying that correctly. Like when I'm watching a direct, like I feel, I don't know, more excitement. I don't even know if it's how they just do their thing online.
I personally feel like it's because there is an injection of personality in them because there are people in them. They take directors of the specific game, you see them sitting down at their desk and they're actually talking to you. They are talking to you about their game, about certain creative decisions they made. There is a personality that's there. State of Play seem cold and dead. Like, it's not that the woman who's doing the VO for it isn't, like, I guess she's doing a good job, but she doesn't seem excited about what.
No.
You know what I mean? What is being shown
even
to you.
Even the setup with the slides was just kind of boring to me. Like it
is.
Yeah, it was just.
It's garbage.
Yeah, it just.
What it reminds me of is the way that Sony used to do press conferences, where like you get this like these slideshows of like information that were like, PlayStation has sold this many units and has done like it just feels kind of robotic. It does not have any actual personality, and that
I think they're gonna stick with it. That's what they need to add to it. If they're gonna stick with it.
Well, that's the problem. Is that Sony for whatever reason, over like the last year, have gotten away from allowing the people that fans have come to like. People love Phil Spencer. There's just no two ways about it. And love him or hate him, people recognize and dig Major Nelson for being who he is and what he does and whatever. And so, like...
Reggie?
Same thing.
Yeah.
Reggie or... Like, anybody who is behind... And so, for a while...
They're making a point to come in front and talk to the people.
And Sony was doing that. Like, at the beginning of the PlayStation 4... Like, it's not that they didn't do that before. It's not like... Ken Kutaragi or whoever didn't come out when it was time for PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, and like talk about it, but they came out and were a little more businessmen, you know, like, or whatever, right? The personality for PlayStation is going away. Like, one of the best things they did during the PlayStation 3 era was, I can't even think of the dude's name now. They had the one dude who would come out. He was like funny. He was like a comedian or whatever, and he would come out. He was in all their commercials, and he did all their E3 press conference or whatever. You know what I'm talking about. But anyway, they got away from him, and it's like you start seeing like Shuhei Yoshida and Andrew House, and you know what I mean. Just like you start to get the personalities of the people behind the machine, and you begin to build a respect and a love for the person, because you start to feel like, oh, there are people behind here that actually care, and that, you know what I mean, want to do stuff, and they love these games as much as we do, and, you know, whatever. And like right now, Sony's been really quiet. You know what I mean? Like, they're not giving a lot of information. They're feeling a lot more robotic, and it feels like either they don't know what they really want to do, or they're not sure of what they're going to do next. They're kind of waiting to see what Microsoft is going to do, or waiting to see what Nintendo is going to do.
Or they're behind the scenes and they got something big cooking.
Well, that's what I mean. Even if they are cooking, I mean, look, for them to come out a couple of weeks ago and more or less give their PlayStation 5 presentation to like Wired magazine, which is like, that's not your base. Like, that's not your, like, PlayStation players don't read Wired magazine. They don't, you know what I mean? That's like going and giving your exclusive update information about the PlayStation 5 to PC magazine. Yeah. You know what I mean? Or the PC game. It's kind of like, I understand that you're going to somebody to try to get them to understand the kind of power that you're going to have behind it, right? And all of the game, you know, publications are going to pick up that story and run with it after the fact. But, and I'm going to tell you a rumor that I heard a rumor that there was a rumor that supposedly Wired had some leaked information. Like, they had some information and they were going to go live with it, and that kind of forced Sony's hand to end up giving them an exclusive. I don't know how true that is, but that's something that I heard. Okay. Regardless, it just seems like either like that to me is a copycat move. That's well, when Microsoft went and really wanted to showcase the power of the Xbox One, they went to Digital Foundry, who are super well known for being able to pick your shit apart and be like, they say you can do this, but it can't really do this. You know what I mean? Like, that's what they do. They put that stuff to the test. But there are tons of gamers who look at that and rely on that, and it's a little more, they're tied to Eurogamer. You know what I mean? So to go to them to show, this is what I have, this is the power of it, give them an exclusive, let them look at it, let them tear it down and do it. It's like, yeah, okay, cool. For Sony to do the same thing and still do the same kind of like secretive, closed behind doors, we're hiding it behind a box so you can't really see it, and they do the same kind of like tech demo. Like, Sony has this history of like not really showing you what the system's going to do. Like, they show you what it's capable of in terms of what's different about it compared to the old one, but not really show you, here's the new thing that's going to be on this thing, and it's going to look like this, and this is what it's going to really run like. What they do is they take an old game from the current gen and they say, look at this game running on this system, and you go, oh man, look how much better it looks. But you got to remember that that game doesn't have all the assets a new game's going to have, and it doesn't have the size and the space and the world that that's going to have. So yeah, of course this new machine can run this old game better, but people are like, oh my god, y'all look at it, right? It's the same kind of thing they did with like what's their racing series? Gran Turismo. So Gran Turismo going from, well,
back in the
yeah, but going from like PS2 to PS3, they show like Gran Turismo, right? And they showed it running, and they're like, this is full 1080p and da da da, right? And they show it in this little tiny screen that's like, this is what you used to get, and it's like 480 by whatever, right? Then they show you the game running on the new console hardware, and it's basically, it's like, it's the same game, right? But it's obviously, it's up-res textures, and it's da da da, and they blow it up, and they show it to you, and it's like, yeah, but that's not really real. You know what I mean? So, I feel like they're for whatever reason, they're hiding behind these state of play, and Microsoft, yes, has also gone to a digital format with their thing or whatever, but at least they're injecting, like, there are people there. It's a live show, and you're getting some personality with it.
Taking the same note from Nintendo, but figuring out how to do it in their own way.
Right. Yeah. But still allowing the personality, because that's what people care about. To me, that's what people care about. They care about the fact that there are people behind it who actually care about what you're doing. And I think that's one of the things that Sony really did very well going into the PlayStation 4 was like, we're about games, we're about gamers, this is for the gamers. And they brought people out and let you Geo Corsi and talk, you know what I mean? They brought out people who you could identify with and that, you knew really cared about what they were doing, and State of Play just is so robotic.
Yeah, that was not entertaining at all.
And it feels like if that's the forefront of the way that you're now delineating information to your public, then that's the direction that you're going as a whole. And I don't feel like that's a good or smart thing to do, right? You're pulling the people away and just going. It's a special thing to be able to say, let the product speak for itself. It's a whole other thing, though, to let the product speak for itself while somebody is telling you about the blood, sweat, and tears that they put in to make it happen because they care about it. And I think that Sony is missing that right now. And they need to get on the ball.
Correct, right the ship, pretty much.
Yeah. Ghost Recon. Now, we have been Ghost Recon fans
since the beginning.
At least for as long as they've been Tom Clancy games.
Yeah.
One of the things that I've always liked about Ghost Recon is that it's always different. They always add something new with slightly different twist on what it is. This new game, this Ghost Recon Breakpoint, looks like Wildlands.
Yes. Which I wouldn't know how I was going to feel about this one going into it.
It was a departure. But
the direction they're taking with this one, I love every bit of it.
I am. They set us up. Like there's somebody there who's going, you see what they did at Marvel? We can do that.
They did with that.
Because you never really get a direct sequel to a Ghost Recon game. You know what I mean? Like, you get a game, and you get another game, and you get another game, and you have Ghosts, and they have similar names or whatever, but it doesn't really matter. Like, the stories don't intertwine in any way, shape, or form. So you have Ghost Recon Wildlands, and they've done a great job over the last couple of years just kind of updating things and making quality of life changes and adding additional content, like Predator, like, you know what I mean? Splinter Cell, right? And then, which that worries me a little bit, because I was hoping to get a Splinter Cell, and I'm scared that we're not gonna get a Splinter Cell now that we know they're doing Ghost Recon this year.
I'm sticking to it.
I'm not saying it's not happening. I'm just saying I'm worried. That's all.
I mean, because usually we're right on these time cycles, and this was a.
Well, we haven't had a Splinter Cell in so long that I don't even. Anyway, so. But then, like, last week, they announced out of the blue, here's a free update, some free content for Ghost Recon Wildlands, and it had John Bernthal in it, and it's like, yeah, I'm a Ghost too. I'm with y'all. And I'm like, what?
The Punisher.
Let's get ahead and do this. Which, for whatever reason, we didn't do. Mortal Kombat and other things or whatever, but... So we didn't do it.
No.
We should have.
We need to correct that.
We should have.
We should have, because... We got
Go ahead, tell him why.
We got
tell him why.
out.
Tell him why you mad, son. Tell him why.
Because the main bad guy in Breakpoint is John himself. It's the Punisher.
That means he did something to us.
Yes.
That means he turned his back on us. And that's personal, sir.
It is.
That's personal, sir.
It is when you're a ghost.
I just
Because y'all in the world, it's just you and your squad. That's all you got. But I'm really loving the direction of it. The whole... Y'all are on the back pedal. Like
you're not being inserted behind enemy lines to go do what you're doing.
Right.
You are
You're not
down,
coming in
like,
with the fancy gear and all that kind of stuff.
I mean, we gonna get some fancy gear.
Yeah, but it's like you're beaten. You got somebody else's gun. You just found off a dead body, and you're trying to survive, and they're constantly like pushing that wave at you to hunt you down.
The difference is that you are basically being hunted by ex-ghosts. They have the abilities you have. The AI is smarter. They do the things you do. There's no, like, if they know what your old location was, they actually got to come find you, seek you out.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They have drones like you have drones.
You got to stay on the move.
You can get down and get prone and create camouflage for yourself. Rub yourself in the mud and put camouflage on you. Oh, you didn't see that part?
I was driving.
Oh, listen. You can go prone, lay in the mud, roll in the mud, put the mud on yourself, whatever, so that you can stay hidden and they can't see you. Oh, it's a real thing. You can do it in the mud, you can do it in the snow, you can do it like, they're like, I'm like, oh, y'all really, we really, and like the environment's gonna have an effect, like you see them walking through the water, like it's a thing. And now you can get injured. So like you can get shot and you get hurt and like you start to limp. You can't move as fast.
Yeah, I noticed that when I was watching the beginning. He was not in the trailer. It was like I was watching the gameplay.
Okay.
And he was doing that. That was like, it's kind of cool. I wonder if it like.
Oh, it's real.
Okay.
So that's an actual thing. So there's like 3 levels of that. There's like one where you hit, you start to limp, but you can still kind of move and maneuver, but it's not as well. Then there's the next level where you're injured and you move slower and you're bleeding now. And there's like blood trails, whatever, but like now your aim swagger is bad, and like you can't really aim. It's gonna be difficult to aim. And then the 3rd level is like you can't run anymore. You know what I mean? And you can heal yourself, but you got to get to a spot or a place where you can do it, or you can have somebody in co-op can like carry you. So now you can dispose of bodies. So like if you're going in trying to be stealthy and you take somebody down, you can go and move the body and hide the body.
Okay.
So you do that before, but you can also pick up an injured co-op partner and move them to safety. But you gotta pick them up. Like you can pick them up.
I wonder if like you got into a hell of gunfire and could you pick another person up and put them like the back of a truck and try to drive off?
I mean, listen,
like,
we're gonna find out.
Hey, look, this sounds like. Listening to that, I think this is our new target. This is our conviction. This has the makings to be our conviction.
Here's the other thing. The idea of being able to play this game solo, because you can play solo or co-op, but when you're playing solo, unlike in Wildlands where you had your other 3 squad mates, AI, whatever, you don't have that anymore. You do have drones, so you can still set up, like you can mark and execute like three shots or whatever, but you can actually throw out like 3 drones.
Yeah, I did see that part. That was kind of dope.
So that's going to be a thing. One last thing I want to say, I don't know if you heard this, but they're finally bringing EA access to PlayStation.
I did hear that.
Did you hear that?
I said it's about damn time.
Yeah, it's a little too late. So, anyway, on that note, I'm going to dig a little bit of that because we might have to discuss that further later. But here's what I need you guys to do. Comment down below, let us know how you feel about everything that we talked about today. State of play, what's going on with Sony, are they too robotic, all of that jazz. While you're down there and you're leaving your comments, make sure you hit the like and subscribe.
Yes.
Also, make sure you hit the ding-a-ling bells every time we upload a video. You'll know it.
That's right.
The notifications are important.
Very so.
Then, open another window and shoot over to
www.com, Patreon /
How many? www.patreon.com.
Go to patreon.com / loading snacks.
That's the one.
Just go there.
Support us. We greatly appreciate those who are. We're looking forward to those who do.
Please.
With that, we're out. Toodles and loops.